Welcome, Mooncat viewers. This is the spiritual pathway reading for the month of March. So in a spiritual pathway reading, these are for those who are interested in developing their spiritual side and their spiritual gifts and moving on in a more spiritual way, bringing a connection to that reality of a spiritual existence. And so this is about your personal development along that pathway, what gifts you might reveal. And this is about raising the awareness, raising your sensitivity to the existence of spiritual messages in your life. And so we're talking about raising vibration, but we're also talking about raising awareness. And the more that you can confirm, the existence of spirit and the guidance of spirit, then the more aware you will be of it in your life. And then by following this guidance, it helps to raise your spiritual level, your spiritual vibration to a higher level. So at the beginning of the reading, you're not going to see me shuffling cards, and this is because I had done the reading already. I had begun to do the reading already and have lost that video in the attempt to transfer the video from my phone to the computer. Something went wrong and the file got corrupted, and so here I am refilming. I'll decide along the way. I don't know if I might add more cards to it. I'll decide along the way. But the reason you're not seeing me shuffle at the start is because I already did. Okay, so let me begin this again. I'm using the Heart Path Oracle cards to start. And the first card that comes out is this one, Slow and Steady, because you're standing at the threshold of something new. And there's a lot to take in these cards. So let's take a close look at this card and what's going on here. So we see this persona figure, this self-projection individual standing here, who's very much in the position of a shaman, because this person is bridging the grounded earth into the firmament or into the astral realm. Now this turtle is an important symbol and a powerful animal totem in this card. And so as I continue to go through the symbolism of this card, if you find it resonating with you, then there are some animal totems on this card for you to examine. And most importantly is the turtle. Because mythologically, the turtle has great importance. The turtle is an ancient creature, first and foremost, and it holds wisdom of the ages because of its longevity, because of its long life. So though it is a humble creature, it is a very wise creature, and it is one that contains the ancient knowledge and the ancient wisdom, such as would be found in the Akashic records. Now I see that the turtle is supporting the river, this river, and we see the figures swimming in there. The river is a common symbol for collective consciousness. And when we can access collective consciousness, that is where the archetype of story lies. That is where the Akashic records are. That is where the ancient wisdom is. That is where our deepest spiritual lessons are that we can access. And so this this turtle is holding that river in place, and the shaman is holding the turtle. And so there is a groundedness here, a very profound connection to that river of consciousness. We see here these very beautiful golden light beings are also supporting. So this is about another myth about the turtle is that it carries the earth on its back. You may have heard the old joke, that it's turtles all the way down. The turtle is such a figure of being grounded and having a firm foundation that it is even imagined to carry the earth on its back. So there is a great symbolism here for that groundedness and that support. And furthering the idea, we have these light beings coming in, these sparkling golden light beings. Now these are gold aura is the highest vibrational, white light and gold light are the highest vibrational energies that you can reach. And so these are high divine, not only supporting this individual, but what's important to note is that they're touching him, they're laying hands on him. So this self-projection here is someone who is in contact with the higher realm and with groundedness. So like I don't want to say lower realm, but with more grounded energies. Okay, and so we see this wonderful firmament all throughout the background. It's almost like a membrane, and like that membrane has opened up to allow the river to flow through. So this is an astral place, an astral realm that this shamanic individual is standing in. And so we see this portal open up, and in this portal in peers the head of this lemur. Now the lemur, as an animal guide, is to provide for you or guide for you the gift of writing. So there is a very powerful indication here of someone who is meant to communicate deep and higher truths, and that will touch on the collective consciousness. Salman Rushdie wrote a story called Harmonic and the Sea of Stories, and this was a story meant for children, but in it, this person who was the sort of magician of storytelling was constantly speaking about the river of stories, or the sea of stories, and that's that collective consciousness wherein the archetypes of story lie. And so it's not just the archetypal characters, but also plots and story as we understand and know it. With this lemur poking through in the turtle there, and all of this together, what we're looking at is someone who is meant to communicate great truths. And this could be done through nonfiction or fiction writing. Either way, you must sense which way you are pulled or drawn to write. There's a lot in here too. Also in this card, what it is indicating as it says at the bottom, is that you are standing at the threshold of something new. All of this talent and ability and all this communication is something that's beginning for you. And this is why the card says slow and steady. So if you are perhaps if you are the person with the writing gift who is experiencing some blocks as you try to write, it's okay. Just keep chiseling away at it, slow and steady, a little bit more. And every time you approach and chisel away, that door opens a little bit more. So this is a profound spiritual transformation that's taking place for you as you become that person who can bridge the astral high and higher realm energies, collective consciousness energy, and the grounded earth energy together. So to be able to connect to all of that is a powerful gift indeed. And underneath the shaman, we see this moth. The moth is here to symbolize a guide to the light, because a moth is always seeking light through darkness. And so sometimes as we write, we seek, and this is also part of the gift that you will be participating in. Slow and steady, and that moth indicates that this transformation is a permanent one. This is something that's going to transform you in a powerful and permanent way, so that you will always be connected. Once this connection forms, it is something that will always be a part of you. So for working on this kind of gift, what kind of work might you want to do to try and develop it? Lucid dreaming and astral traveling would be important practices to begin. And this doesn't have to take up much time, but you will need time set aside either in the early morning or at night before sleep. Those are the best times to try. And what you want to do, there are many books on lucid dreaming and how to develop a method of getting yourself into that state. Or you can also use guided meditations to help you get into that state, and also use guided meditations to help you astral travel. Now, in lucid dreaming, you actually go into a dream, but you're conscious within it and able to control it, and so then able to go where you want to go. Astral traveling is actually the practice of leaving your body, not going into a dream, but traveling in your soul body to astral places. Both of these practices do require that you raise your protection and ask for a protective guide to travel with you as you go into it. But these are practices that you're going to want to take it and make part of your life, even if you're doing it for just 5 to 10 minutes in the early morning or before sleep. There is an affirmation that goes along with this card, and the affirmation says this: I am grounded to the earth and draw strength from her power. So I'll repeat that one more time. I am grounded to the earth and draw strength from her power. So right away, we're just jumping right into it with this really powerful card. And those of you who are seeking to develop, you're looking at an end goal here of a very powerful gift, a very powerful gift of connection. Now, the lemur does represent specifically writing, but we could also look at that as communication. So if there is, let's say that you are a medium connecting to those on the other side, then your gift is communicating that connection. The second card is Twin Energies, Reconciliatory Union, Strengthen Your Commitment. With that blue rose right at the center, and we see the twin beaks connecting right at the center of it, this is to indicate that you need to reaffirm your faith. Faith may be wavering in yourself or in even the idea that you have gifts, but please reaffirm your faith because they are there in plenty. See all these cosmic eggs around the pair. And these cosmic eggs each hold potential for a beautiful gift of life. So this is saying that you're surrounded by great potential, a profound creative and transformative energy. We see that sun at the top between them, shining on the entire picture, and especially connecting to each of the eggs. So this is very powerful divine energy, very powerful divine blessing on the path ahead. And you're just reminded to commit yourself again to the spiritual path. If you find yourself faltering or having any doubt, then this is time to reaffirm your faith. And the affirmation with this card says, I keep my attention on my intentions. So this card wants to remind you that life is a journey, and the journey is controlled and directed by your beliefs. If you need to write your intentions down again and make affirmations to go along with them, then do that. This card again emphasizes that timing is not important. Like, don't worry about, this is not a race to be won. This is a personal, profound, and permanent development. And so let it go at the pace that it needs to go to. The card is also giving a kind of warning that thoughts can limit you. Your ego especially can get in the way. Trying to protect you, it ends up giving you a limiting beliefs or stories or thoughts. And so you are challenged here to rise above those limitations and to acknowledge and open to the multiple possibilities that surround you. So here again, a daily practice might be useful, and this would be a daily practice of affirmations. When you discover limiting thoughts and beliefs, then create an affirmation to counterbalance that. So pay attention to the thoughts that you have, to your internal dialogue throughout the day. And when you hear yourself expressing any thought that puts you down or limits you or makes you less than someone else, then that it needs to be counterbalanced. And that can be counterbalanced with affirmations. And when you have a nice list of affirmations going, you can stand up and say those affirmations every day. So this may sound a little bit corny, but one method that might work, and I can't remember her name right now, so I will make sure to put it in the comments below. But there is a motivational speaker who talks about giving yourself a high five in the mirror. So why not speak these affirmations into the mirror and then give yourself a high five? And I know it feels corny, but she swears that this practice helps you to create self-acceptance. And so it can be a very good way to overcome egoic interference on the spiritual path. So the next deck I'm drawing from is the Wild Harmonic Oracle, and the very first card out is a strong confirmation of the card we just read. This is Fire of Air, or Empowered Discernment. Empowered discernment. That's very much what we were talking about when we talk about when we talk about overcoming egoic interference. So this card challenges you to cut away thoughts that would divide you against yourself, demean you, or in any way disempower you. It is not true when the ego comes to you with those limitations. It's not truth. Swords in the tarot card stand for truth. And here we have almost like an Ace of Swords card, a discovery of an extremely important truth. The important truth here is your power, your true ability to be powerful. As you make decisions that are courageous, each time you do that, then you are again confirming your courage. Then each time you do that, you reinforce your confidence in your ability to have courage. And then each time you do that, you're more empowered. And the more empowered you are, the more effective you can be. So remember that you do this not only for yourself, but in order to be the best spiritual warrior you can be for your path along the way. Whatever your role is in your spiritual contract that you chose to take on in coming to this earth. If you are here, then you are likely a light worker with important work to do. So just remember that if you hold yourself back or hold yourself down, then you're pulling yourself off of your path. And so have faith. Have faith in yourself and in all the possibilities that surround you, all the things that you can absolutely be and absolutely have the strength and the power and the connection to be. And remembering to I glanced back at that first card and I just want to bring it up again, that connection to the higher spirits is a supportive connection. They agree with you being on this path. They want you to be on this path. So how do you know if your ego is interfering with your confidence and your ability to proceed on your path? Well, the next card helps us understand that, and it gives a very good picture to help us understand. And so if you are feeling like a snuffed out candle, if you're finding that you just don't have any energy for life, you're not inspired, nothing is interesting or exciting anymore, that you are your energy is sapped, just completely drained, then that is a good indication that your ego has overpowered your faith or your ability to believe in yourself and what you're here to do. It's distracted you to the point that maybe you've even lost the concept of what you're here to do. And so if you're feeling this way, like you're beaten, defeated, you're uninspired, you're out of juice, then know that your flame doesn't ever go entirely out. It just needs some tending to. So you have listened to false voices, whether that's internal or external. You've been listening to false voices that have taken you away from who you truly are. That is, if you're resonating with this card. Now, if you're not resonating with this card right now, congratulations. That's wonderful. You're working well on your path, but then be aware that this is a pitfall that can happen along the spiritual pathway. And so the best way is to be guarded regarding that internal dialogue and also what you are absorbing from other people. So remember that this Fire of Air card was a challenge and an encouragement to cut out that which does not serve you. So whether that is the limiting beliefs that are coming up from your own subconscious, or whether that's even the voices of the people around you, if you have a relationship in your life, whether this is a friend, a romantic partner, a family member, someone who is always making you doubt yourself and feel bad about yourself, then that needs to be cut away, or some firm boundaries need to be set with that person if they are to remain an active part of your life. And that is because you can't afford to have yourself dragged down into this state constantly. You have work to do, and you want to clear that energy out. And so relationships can be particularly difficult if they're family members. It's very hard to simply cut a family member out. But if there is someone making you feel that way, then you at least need some time away from that person. This card comes with an important question. How can I find and open to new and effective inspirations in my life? So instead of letting yourself dwell on what you think you can't do or what you think is not possible, put your focus instead on, hey, where is there an opportunity that I would like to explore? What is something I'd like to try? What is something I would like to do? And this will start to lead you in the right direction. I listened to the channelings of Bashar by Daryl Anka. If you're not familiar with that person, you may want to check out the guidance on YouTube. But when it comes to the question of life purpose, he has repeatedly said, follow that which gives you your greatest excitement. Follow your greatest excitement, and it will lead you to your life purpose. It will bring you there. And so we speak of finding our path and our purpose in life. And here we have the next card to address that. This is dimensional of spirit, or total freedom. The more that you empower yourself, and the more you allow yourself to experience new opportunities and to create along with spirit, the more that you do that, the more directions that are possible. So just like those eggs surrounding the storks here in the image, you can go anywhere from here. Okay, so all of these paths are equal. They're equally valuable. They're equally good. I can go anywhere from here. and just know that all directions are possible, then what do you truly prefer to go towards? And that preference is what you should follow. So think of it as just this reminder that anything is possible, and maybe even make that one of those affirmations that you use. This card is Shadow of the Celestial, which is us and them. And this card is about divisiveness. Oh, and it asks, what lines have I drawn within and without that are contributing to the divisiveness of my life? So there is just, in the cards here, this very strong validation for checking on your shadow work, which is to look at the negative side of yourself and seek to balance that out. There is somewhere a confusion that needs to be cleared. And this is where there's been a misunderstanding. This misunderstanding has involved an ultimatum, and the result is a kind of dissociation. So it creates that us versus them mentality. I'm going to read a little section of the guidebook here. As it says, when I find divisions in myself, they arise as righteous and noble. They speak of the wrongs that others are doing and how that makes them entirely unlike me. This passion is easy to fall into and has a way of blinding me to what I know to be the common grounds upon which we could build something rather than destroy. So there is a good potential here that the work that you're going to do is going to require you to have a community where you work together. And it's just a warning against pitfalls that can happen when the ego gets involved or takes over. And so we're called, like, by this, I just keep seeing the sword of truth. We're called by this sword of truth to recognize within ourselves what is common with others. Also to recognize when perhaps a self-righteousness is misplaced. To recognize where we undermine either ourselves or others with a negative perspective that isn't actually true. To remember that all pathways not only are available to you, all pathways possible, but all pathways are equal. So if there is someone who is walking in a different way, that's okay. Let them do that. So we wouldn't want to try and tell others what spirituality they are allowed to have. This would be an egoic interference. Okay, so I'm going to continue on now to the next set of cards. From the Sacred Geometry deck, I have one of the most beautiful cards, Dancing Through Eternity. And so in contrast to the last card we just received, there's this one. Dancing Through Eternity is this beautiful idea that all relationships can be guided by love and respect. And so to hold in mind that to keep an optimistic mind towards new relationships that are forming. You never know that this could be what this could become. Perhaps this will be the one truest love of your life. Or perhaps you're beginning the dance of relationship with the most important friendship you'll ever experience, or the perfect partnership for your business or for the work that you're planning to do. This is a very beautiful card to remind us to have that optimism, but also as a foretelling. When you come into your spiritual alignment, these are the kind of relationships you form, and it just makes life so beautiful. And Spirit wants you to experience this kind of connection. And so I think that as we talked about all this kind of destructiveness that's possible, the reason that's coming up is to clear it out of the way, because Spirit wants you to open again to the new possibilities. Open again to the good side of humanity. Perhaps you have experienced too much of the opposite. Perhaps you have become jaded in your relationships to others, or distrustful of what others might offer. Then in that case, you could end up blocking what would be beautiful relationships in your life. And Spirit is only asking you to be open to the possibility and the opportunity to connect in a beautiful way that would just enhance yourself and your life as you help the other to do the same. Then also the card is asking you to think about those long-term relationships that were or have been good. There must be some long-term relationships in your life with someone who has nurtured you along the way. And just to remember to honor those relationships and to give love to those people who have been there for you and supported you along the way. So remember that no person is an island. Nobody does this alone. Nobody in the history of history does this alone. Even Jesus had disciples. And before that, family. And before that, God himself. And I don't mean to hit on religion too heavily, or what your beliefs may be, even if you look at Jesus as a mythic figure. That's what's in the story. And it's just a reminder that we need each other. We need other people. And we need those connections. And you're just dancing into this phase of life where you're going to have a potential for higher vibrational connections. And so release the baggage of any negative connections that you have encountered. The next card is heavy on the symbol, the geometric symbol of the lemniscate, invoking the infinite. And just look at that beautiful opening of the crown chakra, and that light just pouring forth and pouring through. Healing hands here. The lemniscate is actually a healing symbol. It's to represent healing and renewal. And so you yourself, the reason this card is coming up is because you yourself are healing. You're in a place of healing at this time. And so this powerful divine connection is moving through you to help you heal at this time. And so if you are, it sounds, you have this powerful support from the divine to do this shadow work that's going to be necessary in order to be able to form those beautiful connections in your life so that you can achieve your ultimate potential and your true gifts and your true spiritual gifts. So it's all working together. So your capacity to heal is connected to the heart chakra. And we see that indicated here. The heart chakra is very central to the entire energy system, the chakra system. And so that's reconnecting with compassion, which is why this card came up, to be aware of any divisiveness. Instead of falling into false self-righteousness, how about turning that around with some compassion instead? Focus on using healing energy towards yourself. Focus on using healing energy externally to those around you. And then once you are able to achieve your own healing, that gives you the power to heal others. And so you may find yourself in a role as a kind of healer or a person who helps others with the deep wounding that can occur as we go through life. Our next card is Luna and the Volcano. Imagine this dormant volcano with all this powerful energy contained inside. Look at this ring of power, and we see these orange triangles. That's very much into the yellow and orange of the sacral chakra, where we get our driving force from, where we get our confidence from. This is a very quiet and peaceful scene, but the message of the card here is to expect change. This volcano isn't going to hold all that power within forever. There is going to be disruption. There is going to be change. And this card asks you to be prepared for changes. Be prepared because there are surprises and challenges coming along the way that are gifts. And so as unexpected things happen in your life, the reminder is that you may not control the events, the external events, but you do control your reaction to them. You're going through tremendous, momentous changes. When a volcano erupts, it changes the entire environment and landscape and atmosphere. You're going through powerful changes, and it's going to be a series of powerful changes. And the word that keeps coming to mind is ring of fire. The ring of fire is a series of volcanoes, not just one, but a series of volcanoes. And sorry, some distracting thoughts there. You're going to have a lot coming up that's going to change in quick succession, like a chain of volcanoes exploding. So you're reminded to find your calm in those moments, to breathe deeply, to know that every challenge you face has gifts that it is giving to you, and just be ready for anything. Be ready for anything. So a person doesn't get to this ultimate point this first card here, a person doesn't get to this ultimate point of being able to stand in this place without going through some profound cleansing of your spirit, which is that shadow work, and some profound change. And profound changes are going to take place in you, but it's also going to be empowering. From the Celtic Shaman's pack, I have the Firmament. The Firmament speaks of this place in Celtic mythology or worldview that's called the first circle or the upper world. It's known as the dwelling place of spirits of knowledge. And a person travels to this place in search of a primary teacher, one who can bestow wisdom directly to the seeker. And this is a place you're going to be traveling to as you do astral travel work or lucid dreaming work to seek your ultimate spirit guide, who is going to help you with the wisdom, the lessons of knowledge. I'm not sure what that means. The lessons of knowledge is the phrase that's coming to my mind. To guide you through the lessons of knowledge. Okay, so there's going to be some challenges in this. Challenges that are going to teach you the wisdom. And your rewards from those challenges are the wisdom and empowerment of the fairy realm. So there is definite connection to earth and earth magic here. The fairy realm is very connected to nature and very concerned with the protection of nature. And so that too may be a part of your path. So the next card that came from this deck only further empowers that idea. And this card is the Woman Made of Flowers. This is a powerfully empowered woman, or feminine aspect. If that is not your gender, then a very powerful feminine aspect with the ability to change form and has the deep awareness of natural forces, not just in this world, but in all of them, and a deep understanding of nature itself. Her empowerment, or the empowerment of this feminine aspect, comes from the world of growing things. She can take a human form and be driven by passion and desire. She can take the form of an owl and know the secrets of the mystical night. And she opens the way to your true nature, your true self, and encourages you to find and follow your heart's desire. This is about flowering yourself, you yourself flowering in spirit, growing and flourishing. Okay, and again, a confirmation of attaining wisdom and working with the natural world, working with the power of nature. And in this final card, there is one more animal totem for you to work with, and I'm so excited. This is one of my own and one that I truly cherish. This is otter. I'm so excited to share otter spirit with you. I love otter spirits so very much. They are just amazing creatures. If you have an opportunity, there are YouTube videos. Some people have otters as pets. To get an idea of their character, if you're working with an animal totem, it's good to know that. Just give those videos a view, just to introduce you to who otter is. They are beautiful, fun, sensitive, playful, caring, infinitely curious creatures. As a spiritual totem, the otter traverses two elements, and that would be earth and water. So we have that groundedness of earth and the exploration of the creative element of water. The otter travels easily between these two elements. But the beautiful thing about the otter is how at peace it is in the river. So that brings us beautifully back to that first card again. When we speak of that river of consciousness, and otters love to be playful. So not only do they dive to the bottom of the river to find food to bring up, sometimes they just enjoy bringing up shiny objects and playing with them. Or diving deep into the river to find shiny treasures and bring them back to the surface. And that is so symbolic of being a kind of spiritual messenger, or being even a story writer, because you dive into the river and find the treasures to bring back to the surface and share with others. That's also the parable of the philosopher in the cave. Like that. Okay, I want you to see the spread of this whole long reading we've done here. And I want you to be able to see the full story. There is no walk in life that does not contain challenges. So do not fear that word. Do not fear that challenges may lie ahead. Everyone faces challenges. Focus instead on the beautiful gifts that are coming to you through them, through what challenges you might face. The beautiful, empowering direction you're heading into is definitely worth the work along the way. You're going to be so empowered to heal not only yourself, but others. You're going to be able to work with others in a beautiful kind of relationship that empowers everyone involved. You're going to find more meaningful and powerful relationships along this journey. You're encouraged to do some shadow work. You're encouraged to develop your spirituality through the act of astral travel and lucid dreaming. So I'll find some tapes. Well, I just gave away my age a little bit there. There's probably not tapes anymore. But find an audio recording of guided meditations that can take you into lucid dreaming or into astral travel. There are plenty of those available on YouTube. You can find what suits you. Read books about how to develop a method or a practice that will work for you to get you into that state. And there's plenty of good books out there too. So if you're coming along and doing this spiritual work, just just smile knowing that you're heading into a very beautiful place for yourself to be, and for you to be there for others and others with you. And it's just a truly beautiful life path that lies ahead for you. And remember that when times get tough, if you're feeling like that snuffed out candle, that's okay. Just remember, it means there's some work to be done. I wish you all the best on your journey ahead. And this is the conclusion of our reading here today. I just want to say, if you have stayed with me through the whole reading, thank you for doing so. I hope you're getting very much out of it, as there is a lot here to absorb. If you are enjoying this reading, you may want to subscribe, as I will be continuously putting out spiritual guidance or spiritual pathway readings on a regular basis. There is a playlist on my channel that you can go to see these kinds of videos too, for further advice on development as you're working on that. I think right now, working on the astral travel and the lucid dreaming is a very good way to start. If you're looking for more direct guidance, I am offering personal readings at this time, and you can find the link to my website in the description box below. I am offering 1, 2, or 3 question readings, so you can think about what questions you have about this pathway, what weighs most on your mind, and then we'll bring that to the cards. We'll get some direction and some guidance for you. Most of all, I just thank you for watching. I always appreciate my viewers, and I hope to see you in another video.